Hey, it was Gucci and the Coochie. Are we recording audio? Yes, we are. Okay, cool. So, yeah, let's talk about the shit. So, when I'm talking about the daily direction, why I said I'm bullish on the daily is because of this. It's real simple. I want to be real quick with this. This is not a YouTube video. All right. You should already know exactly what I'm marking. Okay? And this translates to? You should know exactly what I'm marking right now. Strong low, weak high. Okay? This, if you're confused, is literally just this. And potentially taking the high. That's my target, at least for the buys, right? That makes sense. And thus, this would be, you already know. Oh, shit, my bad. Okay? So, that's that. So, we have our strong low here, weak high here. I hope that's literally the entire bias here. That's literally the entire bias. Now, when you're looking for sells, you need to understand, right? First of all, you could see that I took a buy over. Well, you can't see it here because I'm not going to show you guys my lot size and stuff. But you can see over here that I in my previous screenshots that I took a buy here, I took a buy here. And you can understand why, because the liquidity taken, and I had some lower time frame reasons as well. It was actually on the daily. It's a daily closing candle right here. And when price nicked it, I look for buys. If you're confused, don't ask me questions about it. I'm not going to elaborate anything on my POIs. But yeah, so when I'm looking at this, that was my reason as to why, from a smart money standpoint at least, I took a buy, right? We took that important liquidity that's inducing this QM. We took that, you see? And you see what I keep on saying is price never needs to go all boom down in here and then go up. It never needs to do that. It can nick your liquidity and go. Okay, so before, right, Nuna, I hope I'm not butchering your name, Nuna. Before you speculate sells, understand what a buyer would see in the form of strong highs and strong lows. I'm a buyer. What am I seeing, right? I'm seeing that this is a strong low, weak high, liquidity taken. If I bought here, where is a buyer going to liquidate his positions? Is he going to liquidate it above this high? Is he going to liquidate it above this high? Is he going to liquidate it above here? I will take partials above this high and partials above here. Now you may be wondering, wait, Avi, you just said that this was a weak high. Why would you take partials over here? Let me show you why. When I'm looking at this from a H4 standpoint, and I can completely get it if you guys are not understanding it or something, I completely get that. What did I want to say again? Oh yeah, H4. Okay. So when I'm looking at this, again, you should know exactly what I'm marking out right now. Oh Lord, I need to use a ruler. Holy shit. It's like I have Parkinson's or some shit. Can't even draw a straight line. There she goes. Alright, bet. So that's that. Now, another thing, guys, I want to be completely transparent is that I actually took a loss yesterday when I looked for a sell in here. Okay, why did I look for a sell? Because there was a H1 strong high, H1 weak low, inducement here. Why is this an inducement? It's a weak high because it failed to make a lower low, and I took a sell above it. You can see we reacted. Today we opened and I got hit stop loss. Okay, so I want to be completely transparent that this is not a holy grail, holy shit. No, it's not. It's just very high win rate, and especially when you have experience, your win rate is just going to increase. You can't expect to learn something new and have an 80% win rate. Right? You got to learn something new, fail a bunch of times, understand it better because of your failures, and your win rate just keeps increasing exponentially. Always. That's just how it always works because you're understanding something better. When you learn something new, you don't understand it better than someone like me who has learned it for years. So that's why you're having a shit win rate, all right? Or you're not understanding certain things. And that's also why I'm here to help. Shit. Okay, but yeah. So what would I look to do? Here we have actually H1, H4, strong high. Okay, would be cool for us to look for a sell in here. Before I look for a sell, okay, first of all, you guys were looking at an M1 setup. I'll show you guys what you saw. I'll show you guys what I'm seeing, etc. This is a H4 POI. It's not a primarily H1. It's not primarily an M15. No, it starts off on the H4. It's not on the daily either. I would like to see something like an M5, M15, M30 mitigation / QM. I would love to see that before we look for sells. Okay, I'll give you guys my setup later for today, what I'm personally looking at. Of course, any sells that I'm looking at are going to be lower probability, quote unquote, compared to the buys that I have, which are positioned in right here. I would love to liquidate up here. Okay, so any sell positions, which I'll show you guys my setup later. You guys, again, don't take it like I'm a financial advisor, because I'm not. Take it with your own risk, okay? So yeah, this what I'm seeing here is that I would look for sells to happen in here and above in here. That's it, right? Very, very simple. So based off of this, why I'm saying that this high would have been a liquidity on the higher time frame is because can you see that this is a liquidity as well for strong high? And what I mean by the liquidity, sorry, I need to draw it better, guys. I'm sorry, man. I'm off of chai right now, so I'm like missing certain things. I apologize. There we go. What I meant to say was this is the liquidity as in the equal highs was there, which is exactly why I say that this strong high is kind of sus because there's equal highs above it. All right. Whereas if you were to compare this, what you're looking at right now, if you were to compare what you're looking at right now to something like this, can you see how like it's so you're just so sure about shit? Like you're just so sure. Strong high, weak low, take a sell, liquidity. Like there's no question about it. But is this one as clean as this? No, it's not. Is the one on the right as clean as the one on the left? No, it's not. Okay. Where would I personally look for sells? I'll tell you guys. Where I would personally look for sells. I will look for sells around this area here. All right. I will look for sells around this area here. Why the one at the top? Why? I mean, you guys could probably understand why the one at the bottom, right? Because H4, H1, strong high. Can you look at the M15, right? Okay, so I will probably look for some sells in there. Okay, again, manage your risk. I'm not telling you guys follow me to live trade. Nah, right? I understand my risk and I understand how to always keep my account positive regardless of the, you know what I mean, entries that I make. And if that one doesn't go to plan, or if I pussy out of that trade, why am I looking at the top one? Bro, these zones need to be bigger, fam. Okay, yeah. Oh, God. Bam, there we go. Okay. Why the top one? Because we have this H1QM as well. Inducement by this liquidity where my crosshair is on right now. Liquidity taken, strong high, breaking structure, weak low or weak low all the way down. And liquidity inducement. What is safe? I'm literally showing you guys the most high risk setups that there could be. What is safe then? What's safe would be price going inside one of these two zones and then reacting. And then reacting. Price going inside one of these zones and then reacting. What if now price doesn't come up here? Avi, you said literally don't over refine your zones, but you're over refining the zone. I get what you're saying, right? What I would do then is observe what structure is broken here. For example, if we go to the M15, we see something like this structure here, boom, get broken, something like this. Although I don't think, even if it does happen, I'm most likely not going to enter it. I would prefer for the higher ones, right? That's what I mean, by the way. Oh, my bad. The one on the left. There we go. Okay. That could very well happen. That would be a M15QM. Okay. So that's exactly what I would personally be, you know what I mean? I wouldn't advise, but I could suggest people to do when you're dealing with higher time frame things. But guys, you need to understand something else that a lot of people don't seem to get. If you're taking these sells, you need to understand that you're taking a sell from a daily week high, meaning you need to expect it to be short term, the sells to be short term, and you can expect the buys to wipe out this high eventually. It doesn't have to be today. I'm not saying it's going to wipe it out today, right? In fact, I do believe price is going to come up because, as I said, where I would look for a sell personally, for me, where I would look for a sell for sure is up in here, right? And again, that is me looking for it. It doesn't mean I've placed zero limits at the top here. Zero. I promise you that. I've placed zero limits. I would wait for reactions and I would observe. And if things look good at that time, sure, I can enter it. For sure, I can enter it, right? And yeah, if you want to be safe, you have your POI, wait for price to react, wait for the candle to close, enter on the next candle, because now you know what the previous candle has done, right? So what I would do is, for example, daily goes up and there's price action on the lower time frame, and the next day I will go and take it from that new price action that's been created. Okay, so that's that. For me, I don't think this is like a, if I had probabilities on everything, for a sell, this is like a 50-50 or a 70-30 succession rate. The one at the top is probably like a 70-30 to 80-20 kind of succession rate. Why? Because of these equal highs. All right. And another reason is because when I'm looking at the daily, we're so bullish. So like, if I'm buying, I'm going to be targeting the high here. Okay. It's very difficult for me to explain, but I'm trying my best to explain why I don't think price here is going to hold, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to be 100% right. So there's that. I mean, do with that as you may, but yeah, I mean, pretty much that's it. Oh yeah, of course. And then you guys also looked for a sell in here. Right? Let me tell you guys my view on the structure, and I'll tell you guys what you saw. So when I'm looking at this, it was an M5, right? This entire thing. Oh shit, give me a sec. This entire thing here. Okay, let's draw it real quick. Let's understand it real quick. Okay, you guys may be wondering, oh, what's the point of drawing this shit, bro? We're not in art class, right? Well, I'll tell you what the importance of it is. When you're looking at this is exactly what happened. You viewing this as a liquidity, like taken here, but that's on the M1. So Avi, what would be a good M5 setup in here? What would you consider an M5? What would I consider an M5 setup? Let me tell you. This, my bad. Give me a second. Lord of mercy. There we go. And again, you can even see from your screenshot. I forgot who sent the screenshot. Denny T, I think. I forgot the name. But if my memory serves me right, Denny, you viewed this as a break of structure, which is not. I'm sorry, but it's not. You also viewed this as a break of structure, which I can't blame you, right? I can understand why you would, but that's actually an M1 break of structure, and there's nothing I can do to change the way you view structure, and I don't want to change anything that you view in structure. It's just simply I would not have viewed that as an M5 break of structure. And even if this was an M5 break of structure, let's say it was in fact an M5 break of structure, where is the stop hunt? You know what I'm trying to say? Price has literally done this. Let's say like price has literally done this on the M1. This is what the M1's done. But on the M5, and in here, it's actually this. Right? And this is this. So how can I view this as a break of structure? I mean, by definition, it's a break of structure, but it's not high probability because there's no stop hunt that came before it. You see how that goes, right? And for this to be an M5 setup, furthermore, you know, it's not that you viewed liquidity necessarily wrong, but from the get-go, you viewed structure a bit differently from me. I'm not going to say it's wrong, it's just different from me, right? And for this to be a good setup, or a setup that I would personally take, right? Bam, that will be blessed. You see how I'm trying to see? So, I mean, yeah, it comes down to experience. And again, as I said in the beginning of this video, bro, don't even fret that, you know, you're not getting the strategy, or, you know, you're not understanding it, because you're going to face the same old thing with any strategy that you do. It doesn't matter what, but with any strategy that you do, you're going to face the same thing where you learn something new and you can't get it. You can't understand it as well as the person who's teaching it to you. So, of course, you're going to feel like shit, but you need to understand the person who's teaching it to you, or whatever it may be, he's had experience. He or she has had experience, years using the same old thing. You've just come in here and learned it. You're not going to get it 100% or get it, you know, with a high succession rate off the get-go, right? Which is why I say backtest. Backtest this stuff and you will see how consistent things can be, right? So I'm actually going to break down some stuff on YouTube for EU. Very, very clean. But yeah, that's it. I hope that's helped. And if you're still unclear as to why you know what I mean, I don't think price is gonna see. The thing is, bro, if you're gonna look at lower time frame mitigations in here, you can't be mad that you get stopped out. You just can't. I'm sorry, but you just can't be mad that you get stopped out, right? How do I say this, man? You need to understand this is the setup for your strong high. Price can come mess about anywhere in here. Which is why I keep on saying playing reactions off of the zones is just for you to get a better RR. That's it. That's the only reason you're playing reactions off of zones. Or for you to have a better confirmation. But you can't say that you have a better confirmation if you're using a H4 zone with an M1 or seconds time frame QM. You can't say that's a confirmation of the zone. It's not significant enough. structure on a lower time frame can become liquidity on a bigger time frame. That's sauce right there, man. That's sauce right there. I'm sorry. But yeah, man. So for me, you could look for something in here, but for me, I would prefer up in here. But I would love if price comes in here, because this is a weak high, I will look for a reaction first. That's it. Hope you guys got something from that. And if you didn't, I'm sorry, but this is all I can put out, I guess, in this 13-15 minute span of time. But yeah, before I go, just quickly again, bullish QM, inducement has been taken again. Price never has to go all the way down. You can just nick it and fly. And yeah, I mean, that's just that. Nothing much else for me to say. All right, see you.